Well, ladies and gents, welcome back to B Tier Pod. We're back. We're back in it
Got the
after
tinfoil hat outdoorsman and what's this guy's name?
Phil?
You
Felipe?
got a handle yet?
We can do Felipe.
I don't have a handle yet.
Yeah. I don't even know if I have a handle for B Tier. Do I?
I'm just a tinfoil hat outdoorsman.
You
so it's
kind of
like,
coined
I can
yourself
coin
that, yeah.
Jesus Malone over here.
Jesus
yeah.
Malone. No, call him Jesus. I'm sure the Catholics get a little pissy.
Jesus and Felipe. Okay, we can do that. We can get by with that, I think. It'll mitigate a lot of the future qualms about diversity issues on the pod. Oh man, that said though, welcome back to B Tier Pod. We did not have one successful recording last week.
Like,
There's gonna be we have one coming up tomorrow, I think, or Friday night. But yeah, it's just like we got 1 week behind. So we're like kind of back on schedule now, finally, officially. And then if we end up doing another pod, it won't be tomorrow. It'll probably be like sometime down the road next week.
Oh, I thought Thursday or Friday wouldn't work because I know Kato said he was going to be available.
Thursday might work this week.
Yeah. Why would you have something going on already or?
Oh, tomorrow I do.
No,
I
yeah,
know tomorrow you do. Yeah,
but our normal.
yeah,
Thursday,
you're not.
We could try Thursday, but I don't know if Kato would make it.
No, he has to work. He said.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Wednesday, Thursday at work.
He works. I think he works every other kind of like what you and I do. It's like the Monday, Tuesday, or Thursday, Wednesday, or something. Yeah, it's like every other week. It's so weird. Like when you work that schedule, it's like it doesn't seem like it's consistent because you're like 3 days on, 2 days off, 2 days on, 2 days off, 3 days on, 2 days off. It's like none of it makes sense.
Are you referring to Kato's schedule?
But yeah, I think Kato's like, I want to say he does like 5 on, 2 off, and then 2 on, 3 off or something like that. So he has like a completely different schedule going on there. And then like every other month he has like a different rotation for that because he does get like a week off every.
You need to pour
months.
yourself a drink, sir.
Yes, I do, and I don't know what I'm gonna pour tonight because we have the J. Henry.
Which
I brought the dough ball out if you wanted to try it because I think you said you might have wanted to at some point.
I haven't tried that one.
Okay, you haven't tried
it. It is definitely tasty.
It tastes like cookie dough.
I might have a sip at.
Yeah, it might be worth it.
You'll be a pretty fire milkshake.
The smoke wagon. I think
I'm trying that one.
Yeah, this
because that's the one that we had when I was concussed. I couldn't drink.
Oh yeah, the concussion episode. Yeah, I forgot about that one.
The one that just aired like 3 days ago.
I already forgot. I edited it like 2 weeks ago. You know, it's already out of the psyche.
I hear you, man.
We do a lot, man.
Things move fast. They really do. It's like I went to my appointment today, and it's like she's like, you have a 60-minute appointment for a massage. Like, really? It's like, well, it's not 90 minutes. Like, I have no idea what happened then, because it's like it happened like a month ago. So it's like so much has happened. I have no idea what changed the course of action. You know, I tried scheduling another 90 minutes because like 60 minutes just don't quite cut it on this old body. But it's like I was telling my practitioner that it's like once we get to that last week 3 to week 4, everything starts to hurt. Need alignment, need a needling, need a massage. So you know, luckily everything's covered underneath my HSA account. So it's nice.
What was the moment that you realized that like you were old?
It was
I guess like old is a relative, obviously, but like when your body is like, hey, I'm not gonna recover tomorrow morning as well as I used to when I was say like 20 or 18 or 25 or whatever.
What really changed is when I got in my accident here a few years ago, because it's like we were living off of King Street and 7th, and it's coming down. We had really shitty insulation, so all the heat would rise up and melt all the snow. Well, the snow would melt down, and by the time we got to my stairs, it would freeze again. So, but it froze everything, and Alicia took off, and she didn't put ice down. And so it's like I'm trying to be careful not to step on anything and walk down. And I was like, zip, right down on my right hip, and I fell all the way down. I was not happy with her, so threw my back out of whack, threw my hips out of whack. I mean, I was going 3 times a week to get everything back going again, because like the goal is not to go underneath the knife. And so getting everything readjusted, getting realigned and such. So man, it was then that's usually like when you're 30s, when you realize you're real old, is like when you have to pay attention to things. It's either when you have an accident or you just realize self-realization. Usually a lot of people that are active, it's usually an accident that kind of throws them off. like whether
Mhm.
you have bad knees,
Yeah.
bad hips, stuff like that. It just sucks because it's like because up until that point, I mean, I was going hard. I was playing paintball. I was doing a lot more things, and then once it happened, I just slowed down a lot more. So then I became more picky about what actions I would do. So now I just kind of focus on archery stuff, doing stuff outside like fishing and hunting and stuff instead
Yeah.
of trying to do paintball
Not
and
to
trying to
say
work
that you're
that
not
in.
very active still, but you just have to like do a different type of activity. Like you can't
Mhm.
do, I don't know, like the same types of things, I guess.
Would
Yeah.
you still occasionally go paintballing?
If somebody wanted to go, I'd definitely go.
Yeah,
It
teach
just
your paintball
it just
or
kind of
Like,
sucks.
right.
it.
It just kind of sucks in this area because there's like there's
Dude,
no indoor space.
There's nowhere to go here.
You
I
have
was looking up like airsoft fields, paintball fields. The closest two are like not. They're both 2.5 hours away.
Yeah, there's arrows.
Baraboo might have one, but that's two
I believe
hours.
Arrow in the scare and
There's one up
Arrows in the
by
square.
Arcadia, I think.
Yeah, there's one of them up in
Paintball.
Yeah,
there's one over
Can we
in
go
Holman
airsoft
called
there
Arrows.
too?
I don't see why not.
I don't think airsoft is big enough because there's
Yeah,
no
there's no
place
one
around here that
airsoft here.
yeah.
We could just go
You
do
have to
that
go
in the
to-
woods.
That's gonna be
That's
yeah.
true.
Yeah,
That's
there's
true.
plenty of the nice thing is the BB's now biodegrade. But
Yeah.
So a lot of it's just going on a public land and stuff like that, doing that.
Yeah.
So that's
It's like
usually-
finding a spot then.
Yeah,
But I really want to go like airsofting to go like all milsim idea on it, you know? And
Oh,
then I think paintball is fun too, but it's just like sometimes people freeze their paintballs and it really
yeah.
hurts.
that's a myth. They pulled it's all a gelatin based, all liquid based. So if you put paintballs in there, they'll fall apart. It's shitty
What?
paint.
I thought people freeze their balls
No,
all the time.
that was done. That was used to be back in the 80s. So after like 91, 92, they changed all that. So they changed the formula, the shell of it. So now the reason why it hurts so much is just
They
really
just don't
cheap
break.
quality.
Okay.
That's
They just don't break.
Yeah, they don't break because they're cheap quality.
Yeah, because
And-
dude,
and-
those
and-
hurt when they
yeah.
don't.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, when they don't break, yeah, they suck. But that's what it comes down to is just cheap quality, and those brands are no longer in existence. Now there's only like because all of them are made out of Canada because they're able to.
Are they all like regulated and all that too?
I
I'm
think
sure?
it's just a higher level of quality assurance essentially
Yeah.
because
Oh,
it's like
yeah, that
because paintball isn't what it once was from like 2003 or from all the way up until 2008. Once 2008, everything prior to that was rock solid. I mean, we were paintball was owned by Dick Clark, oddly enough.
Okay.
Yeah, and he owned the rights to put it on TV. So it actually used to be on ESPN.
Yeah, dude, they used to have paintball tournaments. I
Yeah.
remember
Yeah.
I remember seeing those when I was
They
growing
still
up.
have the national tours, stuff
Yeah.
like that. It's just it's no longer as possible because it's very expensive.
For what it is, yeah.
Yeah.
Actually.
Because it's like the equipment
Yeah.
itself is usually right around $1,000 to get into it, but then it's like buying the paintballs. The paintballs are like $60-80. Then on top of that, you have to buy your field fees too. That's
Yeah.
$30 because it's insurance. Insurance is the biggest motherfucker of it all. If it wasn't for insurance, like things would be cheaper. But you need to have some type of. But there's only like two companies nationwide that cover fields. That's
Yeah,
it.
that's so annoying.
And most
you-
people can't make their nut because up here in where
Yeah.
it snows, it's like trying to make that premium. It's fucking tough.
Yeah.
That requires down to the
That's
right
such
owner,
a hard
the
thing,
right,
man.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that have
You
to
know,
go
it-
into it to exceed on a paintball field.
If I buy land like out here, not that we'll do paintballing necessarily, but
Mhm.
we'll probably do like airsoft tournaments on it. Because I know like if we have enough, like you don't even need that much acreage, but I want like a cabin to like secure the cabin, and you want to have like a couple of things set up out there, so it's like
flag,
abandoned, and
something,
you can
yeah.
like do different things like that. You
the
know,
only thing we need is
some cars for cover out in the field. You know,
you
like,
don't
just
want
random
that because
stuff.
it opens up for litigation and liabilities because if you cut yourself on it and if they don't have a tetanus shot, but the first thing you do is after you buy, it, you have to
Liability.
go
We
through.
could build bunkers or something.
Yeah,
Okay,
we have to go out with
plastic
a metal
bunkers.
detector.
Okay,
Because you usually going to want to look for barbed wire, you're going to want to look for nails, stuff like that. You want to look for all that stuff.
yeah.
Or we could trim down some trees and make bunkers.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's something
little
that's
hideout
doable,
spots,
but
yeah,
yeah, we
yeah.
just have to be. It's all liability stuff.
Yeah.
So okay,
it all
well,
comes down to it because, like, as long as everybody's having fun, you're not going to worry about it. But it's like
Right.
the one time somebody gets hurt,
but
yeah.
everybody has to be friends. It's like you bring
Yeah.
somebody that's not a friend of yours, that doesn't know
Well,
everybody.
that's-
That's where things open up.
That's
Yeah,
maybe what I was gonna say too. We'll keep it like within our friend group, and like we'll just like play out there,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know. Because you
Well,
know,
you
like
don't want someone coming to
ideally,
your house that you don't know. You know what I
well,
mean?
yeah, it would be a lot. It would be a lot like because even if we like go shooting on my land or something like that, like I wouldn't want somebody to sue me back on that, and like you know a future lawsuit. I'm
Right.
not. I don't want to like have to fight lawsuits to have fun with friends. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
like, unless if I get like officially licensed for all that
But
stuff, and
but how
like
could
it'd
they
be
sue you for
completely
what you
different.
do on your land, like shooting your guns? You know what
Well,
I
if
mean?
they
Like,
got hurt shooting my guns on my land, that's like where
sounds
everybody.
like a them problem, a user problem at that
It's
point.
yeah, it's a skill issue,
Like,
but but yeah, it doesn't like stop the reality of it all.
That's why
Like
we have
people
more
get
gun
sued for
ranges
that
than
all the
paintball
time.
facilities. 'Cause gun ranges, it's all voluntary, but it's like everybody's gonna be mindful because it's like you pull that trigger, you can't go backwards.
yep.
Yeah.
And
And
then
yeah,
plus
yeah,
those facilities
paintball,
carry
like,
insurance.
yes, it hurts, but like,
Yeah,
it's not gonna
but
kill
it's the
somebody.
running and
It's not
tripping
gonna
your
kill.
ankle and breaking your ankle,
Well,
breaking your
Yeah.
knee, your
like
hip,
you
your
said, your tetanus shot. Like if
yeah.
somebody gets scraped by some like old rusty nail on like I almost stepped on a nail outside just now,
Right.
and yeah, like if something like that happens on my land,
Oh
and I
yeah,
get
I have a
sued for it,
scar
I'd be so
from
mad.
playing paintball 20 years ago. I was running dead sprint, getting shot down. I found a piece of barbed wire, and I had a nice, I think it's a 10 or 12-inch scar.
Ooh.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
wasn't that deep, so it was surface level, but it was luckily I get
it
home.
could have been so much worse.
Yeah, it could have been. Oh yeah, it could have been much worse. It could have caught me in the
Oh, I
calf.
didn't even drink yet. Have you guys?
I
Have
have
you guys
not.
drank? Okay. Oh, to good times and not to bad times.
Yes.
Yeah. B tier, just good enough.
Because the first question I asked when I got back off the field to talk to my mom was,
You like it?
how am I doing with my tetanus
I
shot?
almost put hair on my chest for
What
real.
was that the
That's
The
a
smoke
smokehouse.
wagon?
Oh,
It was-
smokehouse?
Yeah.
Yeah, smokehouse is it's just
The
toasty.
smoke wagon is so good.
Ooh.
It's heavy.
It is heavy.
It's heavy. It's got that rye bite to it, but I like it.
Oh, for sure.
No, but Phil, how about you? When was like a moment that you realized you were older? I guess because I don't know. This might be a weird question for me to answer too. I don't know.
It was probably like
fine.
3 years ago, like deer hunting, because
Okay.
like all of a sudden I just started getting cold. You know what I mean? Like my body just wasn't keeping up, or like I'd sweat my way all the way out to the deer stand and then stand there for 8 hours and just be froze by the end of the day. And it's just like I used to be able to just go out there and sit all day, but now it's like I have to come back in and warm up every now and then. Yeah, it's just like rough, like sitting out there just up in a tree, cold as shit. You know, like wind blowing, snow, rain.
That's where you start learning about layers and putting hot hands.
Oh
in your
yeah, yeah.
boots and all that
And I
stuff.
have all that,
Yeah.
but it's just like still like sitting out in the elements all day, and then just like I have to come dry off or come warm up for a minute or come eat lunch.
Yeah, and then like realizing that it like I never used to have to do this.
Yeah, like I just
Yeah.
sit there all day.
Is
Yeah,
it guaranteed? Is it because it's like when I if you don't maintain a low heart rate, you're gonna
Yep.
obviously perspirate. But the thing is, like you always pack an extra pair of socks.
Yep.
A, if you needed to wipe your ass, or two, you need to change out your socks because your first thing gets cold on your body is your feet.
yeah. I usually
Mhm.
carry like 2 pairs of socks and then another pair of like a lighter layer if I have to throw it on, and then a heavier layer,
Yeah.
like in a back.
Yeah, and then so you said like 2-3 years ago, you just kind of realized that you
Well,
couldn't handle cold as much.
Well, it's just
Do
like
your like bones start aching in the cold now, and
it's like my
anything like
ankle
that?
does, like since I've broken that a couple
Oh
times.
yeah, dude,
so,
the break definitely makes
So
sense.
yeah, like my ankle like acts up and like.
And on top of it, too, like if you're
It'll
sitting,
happen like before the cold
Oh yeah, and
happens too. You're like
I know.
you can
It's just
sense.
like,
You're like, oh, winter is coming.
or it's just like every time I go ice fishing, every
Yeah.
time I'm sitting out there, my ankle's just killing me.
And-
But
and it's
I'll
like
go
when
you
you're
know
on that
what I mean?
platform
Yeah,
and
you
on a
got
tree
to.
stand, it's like that cold.
Oh yeah,
It just sucks that heat
comes
right out of you.
comes right through the boots. Yeah,
That's why you
it's
have-
cold.
Mhm.
Like when I go sit in a tree stand, I carry a 3-inch foam padding to give me that much
Smart.
separation. Yeah, because
That's
like you
smart.
need some way to. And then
I started carrying some of that out ice fishing with me. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a company based here out of Wisconsin called Slumper Seeds, and they make stuff specifically designed for different settings. For
Mhm.
if you're sitting on a bench or if you're sitting up against a tree. Like I have one where it's a foam platform that has felt on it, but you wrap it around the tree. So this way, when you're standing up, you
Mhm.
don't have to worry about your coat, that making
Rustling,
noise,
yep.
stuff like that. And then I speak 3-inch seat, and it's like that seat is so nice. And you put one of those big patch hot hands on it. It's the way you sit on it. It keeps you nice and warm.
Yeah, I think I need to get out of the tree is my problem now.
I just put together
I think I
my
need to get a ground blind or
I
something together.
I just put together my ground my
Oh.
2024 ground and pound setup. went and bought a new.
Jeff, when you and I went to that one convention center, like that guy selling the ground blinds,
Oh
where
yeah,
you
the
could just
Nukem
like
blinds. Yeah,
unfold. Yeah, like
yeah.
those were
I
sick.
bought one of those.
You did?
I bought one of those. Yeah, it's he bought the one he showed was just a regular size. The one I bought next is the XL size. So this way it stands like 110 inches tall, and it looks like a V blade snowplow. But it only weighs
Jeff,
4 pounds.
you're like a bigger guy, so I know like you'd probably need more of like a taller blind.
Yeah, and plus it's like I don't like setting like you can get turkey seats, but it's like your hips have to be in good shape, your knees have to be comfortable. And I was like, I can shoot from the ground because like I know my poundage is right for me to shoot from the ground, but it's just like when you're setting in on your hips, you're in one of those weird seats where your knees are up. It's like you got to be able to have that flexibility. So I just carry like a tripod seat.
If I'm not in the tree, I'm sitting on a 5-gallon bucket.
Make it simple.
Yeah, light.
Something you just have with you anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And then if I have to use the bathroom, I have a 5-gallon bucket right there. Too.
Yeah. Something that you gotta have.
When I had a permanent ground blind, I had a 5-gallon bucket for shit and stuff like that. Especially when my wife used to hunt with me too, because that's what we would do. Bring out that, bring a toilet, or bring a inside the container, inside the bucket had a swivel seat for designed for ice fishing.
Ice fishing. Yep.
But underneath it was we put our toilet paper in there, we put a bag in there, so it's all good to go. So we can take it out with us here. But I'm gonna show you my new pack that I bought over this past weekend with my gear because I went out to the archery range and got myself all set up.
I bought a new gun.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, you're telling me.
Excited. Jeff,
Oh, that is very nice.
Jeff, we'll have to go out.
Blind on my chair.
Does that strap around the tree so you can just sit on the tree? Or
No. This is a backpacking one for when you're hauling out game meat, like elk and such. So but it's a basic one, so it allows me to have my platform in there. Let me see here. I should have a picture of it.
So it's for more like packing out.
Yeah, it's for me packing in all my stuff.
Gotcha.
Let me see here. I know I have a picture. Oh, here it is right here. So here's my ground blind. Here's my Nukem blind right there.
Yep.
And then here's my that right, and there's my chair right there. This way.
It's all together.
It's all together exactly. Yep. And this pack is modular, so I can add things on, take things off, and such like that. So it's pretty nice. For
it's adjustable to your or your preference.
The nice side is I can go taller too. That's the upside. So it's like it's got a lot of flexibility.
If you want to stand all day, you can stand up in it all day.
Yeah, can't sit on it, but it's like I'll be able to carry it. And like it's the way the harness is designed, it actually keeps the pack off your back. So it's very comfortable.
That's cool.
So like with the hunting season, it opens Saturday for Minnesota and Wisconsin for bow for archery.
Nice, right on. Yeah, I don't know if I'll be going hunting at all, like for archery this year, but I definitely want to get like my gun.
Hey, we got Brian, so when we sat down with him, so
he has land. He just has like a random couple acres lying around.
He's got like a parcel.
They're like everywhere.
Here, they're here. They're all.
They're like not in one spot.
Land for me and my dad. It's so hard unless you know someone.
It's so
tough. You gotta know somebody unless you get Onyx and that way it opens you up to let you know where the
public land
is, but also what's in farm managed land.
That's so sketchy.
Well, you just can't leave a blind out there, you know. Like
like fighting 10,000 people for however many acres. You know what I mean?
There's not a lot of public land between the La Crosse to Rochester. There's not a lot in that area. It's all bought up. But when you cross that river, we have the cool experimental forest. That's 2,600 acres, but it's not forgiving land. It's ups and downs. It's twists and turns. It's thick.
It's not like easy to hunt.
No. So it's ideal for bow hunters. I don't hunt during gun season unless I'm on private land.
Yeah.
No, it's too sketch, man. It's like you just never know.
Well, and if you get shot by a different hunter,
I've been shot at public land. That's why I don't hunt public land.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been shot at.
Yeah, that would be like a one in.
It's just start door knocking and ask, like, hey, do you have any coons? Do you have any coyotes? And you walk in that way. And you start shooting. You start pulling those off that land. That opens you up to turkey. And then if they're really forgiving, then they can move into whitetail. But that's how I got a lot of my property permissions out west or out in Minnesota. Is that it's like, hey, do you have any coyotes? Do you have any squirrels I can go after? Because it's like it's low impact. I'm only out there during the daytime or at night, depending on if they'll let me do that.
Right.
And it's like, and it's usually what a lot of times you get a yes because you're taking a nuisance. Raccoons,
you're helping them out, and you're getting shots on target.
Yep.
You're pulling those nuisance animals off, especially the possums and stuff like that. They have horses. horses and possums don't get along because there's a particular disease that possums carry that kill horses.
I think raccoons have a problem. Or horses have problems with raccoons.
Yeah, I've seen that too as well because I know they don't like dogs, so it's like you go after coyotes and wolves,
right?
You know, but on top, like one of the guys that I used to hunt on his property, he had 2 natural springs on his property. So what me and a buddy of mine would do is we'd go out on his property in the springtime and go out there and we'd clean up those areas. So this way, because if the water's flowing freely, the DNR don't show up on his property. So we'd go out there and we'd bring chainsaws
when you
out
start
there.
pooling waters when they're gonna come talk to you.
Yeah, because when the stream downstream is lower than it should be, then it's like they're gonna come figure.
Can't be creating those unregistered dams, you know.
Yeah.
What are you, a beaver? Like
you're just trying to control the water at that point. They're gonna come after you.
Yeah.
But if this guy ever put his land up for sale, it's 1,200 acres, so it's like it'd probably be 2 or 3 million, if not more. But it's like it's got so much land. It's got 2 houses on it. It's got pasture on it. It's got tillable on it. So it's like you'd able to subsidize your property taxes with a tillable land.
Yeah.
And it's like, and it's got, and my biggest stick with it is like, there's a couple of people that hunt on it. It'd be my joy to get the fuck off my land type attitude. It's like, get out of here. Get out of here with that shit. You don't longer have property rights.
You get off my property.
I told Alicia, it's like, if we ever won the lottery.
2 to 3 mil is a lot, but yeah, I mean, it's doable.
It's 1,200 acres, so you're probably looking at more like
well, I would probably
like
sell or lease most of it anyway. So
you lease out that land, so this way it pays for your lease and stuff like that, your property taxes. So you can still make money on top of that too.
Property taxes suck, but like I get it. It's just something that like, if you end up buying like a $3 million house, you're gonna be paying 30 or 40K a year still on it. You know what I mean?
The houses are only like maybe 200 square feet. They're small farmhouses. But I told Alicia, like, if we ever won the lottery,
that's not really an issue. You know, like if you have that much land, you don't need that much.
Yeah, I always told Alicia if we were won the lottery, I would go buy his land from him. But I tell him, you get to stay on the land, you still get to work the land. And his mom lives on the other house too. It's like she can stay there too as well. All I want to do is kick that guy off property.
One guy.
Yeah, just one guy off, because everybody else I like. Just that one guy.
Funny.
He's one of those know-it-all assholes.
Yeah.
And he puffs out. He tries to be the domineering one.
Has the last word.
Oh, yeah. It's just, he's a
one-upper.
He's
like me. Yeah, I get it.
He's a one-upper.
Last word.
Always. Well, I'm the one that signs off on the podcast, so I have to. Anyways, I think, when I realized that I was old.
When was that?
You still have a 2 in your age group there.
I know, but
has it happened yet?
Yes, because there are people. I have like a friend group that's like younger than me, and they're like 4 or 5 years younger than me. And I don't really like hang out with them or whatever, but they like all know me through like Discord and whatnot.
Yeah.
And they use me as a job reference.
that is old, man.
That is when I realized I was old. I was like, these like 22, 23-year-olds are using me, a 27, 28-year-old, as a job reference.
Oh, that's hilarious.
And that's when I realized I was like, okay, I'm getting too old.
That just means you're a stand-up guy.
Well,
you know what I mean?
You got some credibility, you got some clout.
It's funny because like
BDE.
They've used me for like so many different job reference types. It's like, because it doesn't matter. They're like, yeah, this guy will put in a good word for me. Like, they just know that I'm like reliable for that, you know? And I like talking to people who are like, oh yeah, if you're gonna hire my friend, like they're really good at this. I can make up a story if I need to. Like this one time they did that and this, and I could like do that on the fly, and like they all know that.
That's same thing for me too. That's like I was your age when people started putting me down, because I can go on the fly. And it's like the only thing I request is don't make me a liar.
Yeah,
like, if you quit, that's fine. But if you get fired, I'm. It's like most people won't remember me.
They
anyways,
won't care that much usually. But I know
my word. It's still my word.
Well, because it's funny because this like same friend group, like they'll just be like, oh hey, do you like happen to have this movie on a hard drive? And I'm just like, oh yeah, sure. Like I'll throw it up for him or whatever, give it to like a Google link. And yeah, they just always like use me for like random stuff like that. But like they're such a good like core wholesome group of Zoomers, you know what I mean? Like I don't know, I like handing them out whatever I can do to help them, because they're all like pretty decent guys, like they're like your average like Zoomer type though. The memes that they share in their core, they're so edgy, so weird, so different. And like I'm only 5 years older than them, and I don't understand their humor half the time, you know. And that's when I realized I was like, I'm probably too old for this shit. But
Yeah. Usually when you recognize that the lingo that they're using that you don't recognize the definitions behind, it's
yeah,
like I'm out. I'm too old.
like on God with the sauce for real, bustling. I was like,
Yeah.
okay,
Sigma,
like
Riz.
Sigma makes sense, Riz
Yeah.
makes sense,
Yeah.
Riz does make sense. Riz is
Sus makes
short
sense.
for
Yeah, that
charisma.
makes sense.
Sus is short for
Sus-
suspicious.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't know. Sigma is like a mindset. It's like you ever seen American Psycho
Oh
before?
yeah. Oh yeah.
He's Sigma.
Of course, I've
He's
seen American
Sigma
Psycho.
male. Yeah. He's Sigma based alpha. Yeah. Um so there I get that kind of stuff. But yeah, I just like for some reason, man, like the skibbity toilet does not make any sense to me. I can't figure it out.
It sounds like somebody's copying what they would use over in either Australia or the UK and trying to make it cool over here.
Is that what they use over there?
They make some. They have England
Because
has
their
their own
toilets
weird thing.
flush in
I
reverse.
watched Eurotrip and I'm trying to listen to this
Is that
guy
true?
talk.
What?
Is that true?
Yeah, if you're south of the equator, if you flush a toilet,
Goes
it
backwards.
goes,
Goes
left.
backwards?
Well, it's forward to them, but yeah, it's left.
But yeah. Like it goes like
Counterclockwise to us.
counterclockwise for them and then clockwise for us? Or-
Underneath the globe conspiracy.
Huh.
Do you know if the clocks tick like backwards in their culture,
No.
left to right?
Yeah, it's all numbered different.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just inverse. They have like 12 at the top or 12 at the bottom, and you're like, what? What does that even mean? No, yeah. So that's when I realized I was old, though. It's just like I was used as a job reference, which I don't mind doing. I think it's like a good thing. And I think it's awesome to like kind of usher in like this new Zoomer mentality. I think about maybe 20% of them are good. You know, I think there's about 80% of Zoomers that are just atrocious people and they like shouldn't exist. But-
Should have been swallowed.
yeah, but the 20% that are good, I think they're like so highly motivated. It is like night and day the difference, but there is like a good group of Zoomers out there that I think are gonna like quote unquote change the world or whatever. I think they're a lot better than millennials. Hate to give you guys credit for anything that, like basically Gen X unleashed on you. But the boomers were terrible people.
No, most of us
I
are
think
still dealing
most
with
of us
our resentment towards the boomers because the boomers are the ones that put in the laws, put in the tax
I know,
laws.
I
They're the
know.
ones that are CEOs, not the Gen Xers. It's like those boomers all like that because look
Yeah.
who's all in office right now, a bunch of fucking boomers.
Yeah.
We got
No,
a vice
it's really
president's a goddamn Gen Xer.
she's
but
a Gen Xer.
she's the
but
original
she'll
hot
be
Tua
forgotten
girl.
quick. But the original. Yeah, no,
She's a Montel Williams groupie. That's how old I am.
yeah, well, and that's the thing too, is like we still have millennials to get through before this like generation of Zoomers comes up. And me being like a more in-betweener, like I'm, kind of in between that like millennial tail end and because I don't, like I said, I don't quite understand Zoomers, but I'm
Mhm.
definitely like not a millennial. Like I'll grant myself that out of the
No,
out of
you're
the
you're born.
equation.
You may have a 1 in your birth year, but you have a 9 at the end of your years.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
like the weird part, right?
Yeah, because there's a weird cusp. Like some people include 84, some people won't. All depends on who's doing it for as a Gen X. Because my generation was the last one that actually still had a 2-parent household consistently, and then
Yeah.
before, and like most of the Gen Xers that I grew up with. Well, my dad's still kind of a boomer because he was born in '53, so my mom was 54.
Yeah, that's both boomers.
Yeah,
That's
so it's like that's where I kind of fall in that weird thing right there. So
yeah,
and where like Alicia, her parents are Gen Xers, so
yeah. Gen Xers are kind of like the forgotten, quote unquote.
yeah.
But
Well,
like
that's why
also
we had the new metal genre. They're the ones that are fucking pissed off with their parents and their
well,
grandparents.
like millennials, like the number of millennials is like insane. Like
Oh, yeah.
there are so many millennials,
Mhm.
and like obviously they're not really in the power yet.
Well, how can we?
And
It seems
I'm-
like we have a.
I am
a-
worried when they get in.
I don't know if we ever
Like
could
low
get in.
key, low key. I mean, you guys like it will happen when all the millennials are like 60 years plus or whatever. That's how old you had to be
yeah.
to be a
Well, it's still 20
politician
years from now, so
nowadays.
that's still a long way
I
to
know.
go.
But I think it's gonna get a lot worse when they.
Well, a
get
lot of them
in.
are still pretty brainwashed. So it's like if they have their 7th or 8th jab and stuff like that, you
Yeah.
may not have that big of a pool to play
Well,
from.
I mean, yeah, if you talk about that,
As long as they keep
Dude,
following the FDA.
we can't talk about that, can we?
Oh no,
Can't.
no, sorry, sorry, Matrix. For this is all hypothetical.
No, I really do see, like, I think it gets worse as the millennials get into power. And then we're kind of going through like tough times before I think surprisingly,
Millennials will bring us into World War III, especially with our current
surprisingly,
in
I think Gen Z will take us out. Like I in
our alpha the
no, I mean
Gen Alpha Z or Gen
they're
Alpha, whatever it is.
raised. Well, you got to think too. Like they're raised by millennials. So like millennials are
Well, it all
mostly
depends on
into
when
the
the millennials
camp.
had their kids. If they had them between that 18 to 21, like if I was
Yeah,
stuck in
but
that past,
the
I would have an
average
18. I would have a 20-year-old right now.
the average marriage right now is 28. So
Oh
like
shit!
you have to
Yeah,
think that like most people are not having kids until they're maybe 30.
yeah.
My brother, he just
Feminism.
like what 1 year ago had his first child, right? So like, and he's 31.
Yeah, makes sense.
So you know, like a lot of people are not having kids until they're 30. So you have to think like
It's very
along that.
expensive to have kids.
Yeah, and I mean that's part and due to the boomers or whatever, but
Yeah.
from like a entire like standpoint of society in general, when the marriage age gets like an average above 28, that's usually when you start seeing like basically like global resets happening, right? Like we've seen it time and time and time again. Whether it be natural or unnatural, that's kind of the question everybody's trying to guess right now. But you either have some type of ecological reset, or you have some type of societal reset, or monetary reset, or some other grand problem we never thought we'd have before. Something happens, right? And people who are like never, oh, nothing ever happens. Well, something usually happens when the age of marriage is on average above 28. We don't know why that happens, but it happens time and time and time again throughout history. So
Sure. We're due for another global conflict.
some type of global conflict, yeah, or reset, or
Yeah, that's where we're at.
aliens.
Let's go.
I don't think anybody really cares about aliens. Like, I want to go off planet.
Low key, I don't think it really matters either. Yeah, aliens are not really a global catastrophe as they would have been maybe 30 years ago.
It'd
Yeah.
be fun.
That's true.
Yeah, it could be fun.
That would be a fun.
Would be fun to learn.
Because then, like, because once we get past, like, once we go into it, we'll be able to find the Jedi, like all the sci-fi stuff.
Sure.
We'll probably find the Jedi or find the Sith or find some evil lord or something like that.
Or
you know,
a portal or something.
yeah,
You know,
exactly.
right.
Mhm.
Something like that.
Yeah, because then
And
it's
you know, like it. That's
cool to find some
probably
Yautja.
probably not a good thing.
Maybe that's
Have you
why
guys ever read like The Dark Forest before?
Dark Forest.
Yeah,
Nope, never even heard of it.
it's a sci-fi book by some Chinese author, but he goes into like the quantum realms and like why humans were so determined on trying to find other species, and eventually they
Do you want to
do.
fuck it? Fuck you, Captain Kirk.
That's the only thing we ever wanted. The horniest people go out to space. That's why their rockets look like penises. Like it's very like where do you think they're going? They're launching.
But they don't get anywhere, you know?
Yeah. Well, yeah, but anyway, so The Dark Forest is an entire like basically a book about what humans would do if they knew that people were out there or like other species were out there trying to kill them and hunt them. And they have like an entire, you know, obviously there's a whole world building to it, but the Tatarians are like the evil race. And I'm pretty sure there's a Netflix show on this now.
Yeah, the Tartaria and the Tartarians are starting to come make a splash on the social medias and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, okay. So yeah, the Tatarians are like the evil reptile species or whatever that we probably have in our current folklore.
Kind of like why
But
we have the Great Wall of China that was built by the Tartarians to keep the Chinese out because it's like
Sure.
it's all bad. Well,
Yeah.
that's the theory of it is because it's like you
Okay.
can't call it the Great Wall of
But
China.
so the
considering
Tatarians are
It's facing
yeah.
away.
yeah, it's facing
I was gonna
away
say that-
China.
Yeah. So the Tatarians are from like a book though, like a book series. And anyways, it's like this I guess like it's the reaction of humanity knowing that there's a faraway civilization sending battleships to Earth, but it takes about like 400 years to get here. So like that's what the book series like begins. It's humans reached out, got found by an alien species that wants to annihilate everything living, and it takes about 400 years from their
And
home
we
planet
just
to
go,
get
hey, we're
here.
living, and they're just coming to
And they're like, yeah, we're
annihilate
gonna kill
us.
you. And they send like a gift at first, or we think it's like a gift at first.
And they're
And
just
this
like,
thing,
what
The
the hell is
Trojan
this?
horse.
and yeah, it
Yeah.
is. And obviously, like everything, every human endeavor from that point forward, after being found out about this species, is like we have to defend our species, but everybody's like in chaos because like you have global war, global conflict. You have like everybody disagreeing about how to do it. You have a couple groups of scientists trying to figure it all out. But yeah, they send like a pearl gift, you know, and then it like it animates itself like 10 years after it gets here and just kills like our entire space fleet. And that's like where the book picks up. It's like, oh,
okay.
cool. Neat. It
Yeah.
killed our entire space fleet in like
Because if that was the
15
case,
seconds or something like that.
it would
Thanks
You're
for
like,
coming.
yeah,
one turn,
so
it would,
then-
it would
then there's,
unify
like,
the
yeah,
universe.
pretty much.
It would unify the globe, but it all turns. It would basically turn our entire society into a military.
yeah,
everybody doesn't-
that's essentially what it is.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
kind of like it's kind of good we had the firmament, so we can't get through it, can't get out of it,
Well,
can't get in it.
when people laugh about like Trump wanting to make like a space force, like this is kind of what he's talking about. He's like, let's do like a united space force. And it sounds dumb, but it is kind of dumb. But he's also maybe potentially thinking like 500 years out from now, because most of his books takes place in like 21 or 2450 or 2480 or whatever, you know.
Okay.
So, but yeah, it's definitely like a good series. I've watched a lot of breakdowns on it. Because there's a translated version I've like read partially through. I haven't really like read the whole book, but
Pretty much a
Sparked it.
Futurama in a book.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, essentially that. And you know, I would always wonder like what humans would do, because I think we would probably, I mean, think like this too. I think humans will probably resurrect some religion around AI in the next like 50 to 60
Which
years.
I think is dumb.
Well, AI is essentially our God, right? I mean, if you think in terms of like almighty power and all knowing and omni
That's
movement,
listening to me no matter what, even if I don't want it to. Yeah, that's
it'll
Not
know
cool.
everything. It'll
Not
predict
cool.
your
Yeah.
ads. It will predict what
Not-
lawnmower you're gonna
not
buy.
cool.
Yeah. Because
The
Let me
Sorry,
live
yeah.
my life. You
I'm-
know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, but you know, essentially, like,
and if I want something, I'll ask you for it. You know, like, or I'll just
Yeah.
go look it up on my own. You know, like I don't need it popping up every other day after I looked it up and bought it. I'm just gonna draw a question.
yeah, I was
So
gonna.
draw a
I was
question.
about to draw a
Tell us-
question.
So do you
'cause
go with the 45, a 7.62? Which,
9mm again.
oh, cool.
I love my 9mm though.
Hey,
I'm
it's
kind of
very
falling in love with that round.
Hey, it's very effective round. You know,
Yeah.
it hits the off button consistently as long as
But-
you put the shot right.
So this is gonna be a home defense gun, right? So we'll be using it for home defense. But it is a Zenith MP5.
Ooh, that is a pretty gun. Is it here? Or we have to wait for it?
It'll be here in probably like a week. I bought it online, so I
So
just got
you going to Ace or you going to Holman?
I'm going to Ace to pick it
Ace,
up. Yeah.
Yeah. Holman's a little bit cheaper, but you
35 versus $40 or whatever
Yeah,
it is.
but it's like we get the time up to the time back. It's like split
yeah.
hairs.
But you know, it's right by my job, so I can
Mhm.
probably go pick it up some morning or
Yeah.
some afternoon or something.
I don't blame you. I know there's no sense in going to Holman.
That said, yeah, it's so it looks like an MP5K. I guess it's officially the ZF5K, but American imported or American made. So you have to like H&K never really like made their MP5 for civilians here. Like they only like keep them imported in Germany, and then like when they finally did, the price tag for them was like 5K to get it
They're
imported.
very expensive.
And you can't get the fully auto ones in America, so it's like a whole thing. It's like they had to like make a different one for civilian
Well,
use.
Bauer
and
versus New York City, there's some legislation that might be changing from that.
it'll change.
Yeah.
Full reset triggers got constitutionally accepted finally. We probably will see machine guns back in American hands
Yeah.
very soon. I would say within the next like 3 to 4 years.
Considering like what, because after they did the machine gun ban in '86, like AR platforms skyrocketed. They sold like over 400,000
And-
units in the first few weeks.
You know, like the more that you kind of realize like what. Okay, so anyway, the gun that I just bought, can't wait to use. It should be a lot of fun to shoot, take everybody out. 9mm, I'm excited. That's all I gotta say. It looks exactly like a H&K MP5, but it's just like the K variant of it, and it's for the Americans.
This is the
So
nice thing is you
it
can be
won't
able
be
to
full
run
auto, but
147 grain out of it.
yep. So that'll be home defense. It'll be a good home defense gun. It's like a 7-inch barrel too, really small. I was gonna go the bigger route, but then I'm like, I just bought an EP9, and I love that thing. That thing is
That's the one I've shot, right?
that thing is fun. I don't you shot my Scorpion.
Scorpion,
I
yes.
don't think you bought. Yeah, I bought so many guns the last year. I bought so many weapons the last year. I bought an AK, bought like 4 or 5 different 9mm. I'm getting up there. My collection's growing, I guess per se.
Yep,
But
yep.
that said,
You
my-
haven't made the ATF scared yet, so
no, they won't be. I mean,
yeah.
or if they are, it's probably because of like my 3D
just-
printing endeavors, if anything.
Even underneath the King's rule, we were still able to make homemade firearms. So it's like
Yeah,
those are,
it's cool to say that we've done that though. That might be a video. I still have to put that up. I edited it months ago, Phil, and I'm just
we
like,
need to throw that.
yeah, I just don't know where to put it because if I put it in my gaming channel, it'll probably throw the algo off.
Throw it on the beach here.
No, it's not a B tier upload.
Why not? We talk
Because-
about guns all the time.
Yeah, I know, but like. The problem with being, because we're like not really in a
It may be a beach here now because we're talking about it.
yeah, but we're like not in a censored area, right? So like YouTube, like we're just like an entertainment or like a comedy podcast at this
Yeah,
point.
right.
If we put a gun anywhere on our channel, like I don't know, say we just put one right here on the table and it was like a centerpiece for the table, we would probably get flagged and then we'd probably lose all of our algo. So like I won't do that to
Yeah.
us.
Yeah,
If
I gotcha.
anything, it
Okay.
ends up going on like Sharp Dress Shooter, and then I end up
Hmm.
doing that as a whole new channel for under the Lord Peppa moniker, but like under
A different
a
category.
different name.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a
Okay,
different channel
okay.
name. It'd be brand new though.
That's the question.
Question of the night is: do you have a bucket list? If so, what's on it?
Ooh. We've touched upon this on different podcasts. Now we can just kind of list them all on. You want to go first, Mr. Lamborghini?
You can, yeah, right.
$1 million a year, you know.
$1 million a year, baby. What you mean? I do have a bucket list. Apparently,
Apparently,
very
you,
apparent.
you don't have to like list a couple, like
Yeah, I
s-
know,
everything on it. Just a couple things. You know?
couple things.
Yeah.
I haven't traveled everywhere I want to go yet. So I want to go to like the Grand Canyon. I want to go to Alaska, go up the Acreage Highway. I do want to buy a van at some point and just like go, just travel. That said, if Kayla and I do that, it'll end up being probably for just like a couple weeks at a time, but
Yeah.
we'll come back to home base.
Yeah.
Home base could just be a storage yard.
Swap vehicles real
shipping
quick.
container,
leave.
Yeah.
pop in and
Right?
out. Yeah, that has definitely been in the bucket plan. I want to go back to Europe, but like that might not be doable anymore, like as much to the extent of even just like 5-6 years ago, which is crazy. Like 10 years ago, completely different Europe from
Yeah.
now. So I might have to hold off on that. If that doesn't happen, like it won't be the end of the world. Like I said, there's places in the US I want to go to first anyway. Glacier National Park, I want to go see.
Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
But the best time to oddly go, beginning of October. Absolutely gorgeous.
Okay.
It's out of peak season, and you're still able to go up to Sunset right Pass.
Okay.
To go through it. When I was out there last year, the pass closes on October 15th because it's so high up there. You could get into a freak snowstorm.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not something I want to go into, but yeah, camping out that way would be really fun. I think there's probably like a couple other like hidden bucket list things. I still want to go skydiving because I had never actually
That's
got to
fun.
go do that.
That's fun.
You going
I've
skydiving?
been skydiving.
Nice.
Nice. I want to try bungee jumping. I really gotta trust that rope.
Right. Yeah, I
I
don't know how
want
I
to see
feel about
somebody do it
bungee
twice
jump.
before me, Cliff diving I've done is fun, but it's also like nowadays people are just like, oh, you're gonna like, and I've actually know somebody who like broke their spine on
Damn.
something like that, so that probably isn't gonna be the move anymore. I guess bungee it could happen, but I'd probably die if I bungee jumped. So like, I'd rather die than live through that. I think you know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, Niagara Falls, I still want to do. But I would have to
That's
stay on
fun.
the
It's fun to
American
see.
side now.
Yeah, it's fun to see.
Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else. Like, I feel like there's probably a couple other like travel bucket list items, but yeah, other than that, you know, it is what it is.
Mhm.
I'll get there in due time. I don't think the money will be an issue, but I think it's more of just like finding the time and finding the right like
Things to do.
yeah
Yeah.
things to do, things to see, whatever it would be.
Agenda.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotcha.
How about you, Jeff?
Shit, I've gotten so much off my bucket list. It's kind of actually slimming down. So now it's just moving towards a friend. So it's like I want to do a bear hunt next year.
Hmm.
I'm talking to a buddy of mine, but he wants to go out to Colorado and go hunting out there. But little does he know, it's like it's easier for him to go to New Brunswick and go to a bear hunt than it is for him to go to Colorado now because they recently redid their point system. It's no longer over the counter. It's point system because it's overcrowding. It's like bullshit.
Okay.
They're just figuring out ways to just incentivize people for coming to Colorado. Plus, on top of it, too, they introduced a couple wolf packs and stuff. So they're trying to turn Colorado into Idaho. What that happened in the 90s that at that point, at the peak, like in 91, 92, there was like 25, 30,000 wolf, or elk to the hoof.
Mhm.
Now it's down to 7, 8,000.
Wow.
So the wolf population has destroyed it all. So it's basically they're just trying to
So
destroy everything.
are they trying to make a new hunt for these wolves, or is it just like trying to control the herd?
Just trying to no, they're just trying to kill everything. They're gonna want because it's like how can you get everybody eating the pods and eat the bugs if there's an opportunity to feed yourself? Because the biggest goal the World Economic Forum is struggling with is getting people off the land. That's why big Bill Gates and big pharma and
Trying to
big
buy
ag and
everything.
buying
Yeah,
everything.
yeah.
They want to get everybody in the 15-minute cities to get in the pods. So it's a long con. That's the downside.
Mhm.
So it's just us to recognize it. It's gonna be too late. So let's see here. So I've hunted Illinois, Iowa, Wisconsin, Minnesota. Next would be Nebraska, South Dakota. But the goal is to hunt with my friends. So it's like that's why I like being outdoors. Like if I can't hunt in Alaska, let's go fishing. Fishing is just gonna be just as fun. It's not gonna be as
I can
expensive.
still see the game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, for sure. And that's the best because it's like when you go up to Alaska, it's a lot to get up there to hunt.
Yeah.
Then you have to get a guide or you have to know somebody that's a resident of the state
that has
to be able to do it.
go
And then
there.
guiding
Right.
is not cheap. Not like it's a bad thing, but it's like it's gonna ensure your safety. But it's a lot.
And
It's
rich man's sport.
yeah, exactly.
Yep.
So it's like that's kind of out of the books. But like going up, I like to go up to Canada and do a caribou hunt up there. Want to go to Africa and do a big game
Stuff like
hunt.
a safari.
Yeah. The only downside you can't bring the game over with you, so bring the game back. So at least the upside is when I go out there and hunt, it's like oddly enough, you can go out hunting there and you can shoot like
you
7, 8
can't-
species
You
for like
can't
10
ship it
grand.
back at
What's
all.
that?
You
Nope.
can't ship it back.
No meat, zero
No
meat. You can
meat?
do
Okay.
your hide and you can do mounts. That's
Okay.
it. But no
Something
meat.
that I think I want to add to my bucket list that I forgot to mention:
Yeah.
elk hunt.
Yeah.
I wanna
Yeah,
do an elk
you need
hunt.
to, you need to start putting in points now.
Yeah.
Seriously, it's gonna take you 10, 15 years to get a elk hunt. Yep.
Is
A
it like
lot.
a lottery?
Yeah, because it's all getting
because
drawn.
bear hunting is like that too. You gotta like
Yeah,
draw
you have to put
in.
it
But
in like every year.
if
Yeah.
you get further south in Wisconsin, it's easier to hunt because the population.
What caliber? Like Winchester 308? Think I could do
You can
it?
do 308.
Okay.
30 at 6 is usually the
30
one
out.
to go to.
Yeah,
'Cause
I
it's
got
got-
a couple that you could borrow
Yeah.
if you needed.
I'll
you know.
buy one, but yeah, I just didn't know.
I got
I'm
I got
gonna
a 30 out
because I'm gonna end up buying like a DMR probably at some point, but I know you have to hunt with like a 10 round mag, I think, or 5 round mag. I forget what it is.
I don't know. I don't know off the top of my head.
But yeah, that said, I want to do an elk hunt at some point. I didn't know I had to put in now. 'Cause
Yeah, oh, yeah,
I'm not even
it's-
like
Oh yeah.
hunting eligible yet. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
okay,
It takes years to get into it, and it's like, and the states are fuckers too, because they'll go through and they'll change the regulations without telling people.
fun.
And you could be hunting eligible within like a day, 2 days.
Yeah,
All you need is
8 hours.
go online.
That's so
take a
ridiculous.
class and you're eligible.
It's 8
Oh,
hours.
yeah,
and you're
yeah.
done.
Yeah.
I mean, I got my concealed carry in like 6 hours.
Yeah, it's just like an 8-hour class. So yeah,
And you can pause it and
Like,
come back to it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can look up the answers if you need help. Like
literally have
different tab up.
Have the
It's
book
so
right
it's
there,
so
yeah.
ridiculous. Like
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, you can even like check your game in that way now. Like
Oh yeah.
I've shot a couple deer that I've just like logged on real quick. Like yeah,
Mhm.
Here's the deer. Already sent. Go.
Yep, that's what I've done
Yeah,
in the
like take a
past.
picture and send it to
Nope,
him.
You don't
even do
have
that.
to.
You
Only if it's a male, I think. Only if it's a
Okay,
buck,
if
I
it's a
think,
buck.
just to prove sex.
How many? Yeah, how many?
Yeah.
Out.
No, when I shot my buck, well, this is 2017, so the regulations
Yeah,
changed.
yeah.
So I can't judge based on like, but yeah, most likely. Don't now the
Yeah.
biggest thing too is that I found if you shoot an animal, you need to have a tag on it before you take a picture.
Before
of it.
you, yep.
Yep, because otherwise, Lee, I can't pronounce his last name. He got in trouble for it. He shot a beautiful buck down in Iowa, and the internet got all assholey to it, and they DNR came out and fined him because of all the pressure they had on him, all the anti. So it's like
that's crazy, man.
So yeah, so it's like if him and I shoot a buck this year or shoot anything, you want to have that tag on there
and then take a picture.
Yes.
Yep.
Tag it, take a picture.
Because it's in the rule books.
Well,
it's step 1 is to tag it.
Tag it before you even move it.
Tag it before you bag it. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Best way to do it. Yeah, because I tagged mine in Illinois. We found it, busted it out, zip tied it to the ankle, and we're good to go.
Yep. Then take a picture. Yep.
Then take the picture.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the
then
deal.
Start the gutting process.
Yeah,
that is nuts that people get that mad about it.
No, it's the anti. Most hunters don't give a shit.
Yeah, the hunters don't care.
Yeah. I mean, hunters in general don't care.
Hunters are like,
but,
nice kill. Or
because the person
I can't
if you're putting evidence on there, you know you shot it ethically. But there's the guy over in Ohio that shot that big buck.
Yep.
He's poached it off of the DA's hunting land.
Yeah.
The DA, the district attorney of Ohio.
Has like a private farm down
there. Yeah. Oh yeah, he got fucked.
Oh yeah.
Oh, but he deserves to because it's like he purposely.
I don't think he's good.
I don't think he deserves.
I think they like took his license for life.
I don't think he deserved that though.
Come
on, poaching the DA's land is kind of badass.
But it's posted.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah,
like,
but like
but like, it's like, you know what I mean.
You know, you could argue semantics about like, oh, like I didn't know that was on private property.
With trail cams today, you really can't. There's no lying. There really is. It's cell phone data too.
Right.
The worst thing is like he got his
but it's also
girlfriend,
the DA,
his color, his cousin, and his mom involved.
Okay, was the DA like Soros backed? Okay, that's like the question you got to be.
Oh yeah, most likely.
Well, then they probably have.
How else does the DA have land?
Then they probably have like tags in the deer or like sensors in the deer that like prove to where it's going. You know what I mean? Or like when it dies, or like collars, or
yeah, they have like
CJ Alexander buck.
Yeah.
That's who it was. See,
yeah,
this is the buck that he shot. I mean, it's a world. It's a
It's a monster.
It's a beast of a gun. It's a
monster
tank right there.
Oh yeah, like it's a monster.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I don't know, man.
You gotta take it legally. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, because I mean, it was probably his only claim that year. He probably just claimed it on somebody else's land.
I could go shoot a buck any night of the week, spotlighting it. You know what I mean? But I've yet to pull the trigger on one out in the woods because I just haven't gotten in range.
Yeah.
Or it's just like I don't trust myself.
How close do you need to be?
Shot.
How close do you need to be?
It depends
what are we using? Yeah.
308.
You
I could drop it. Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, I think I could probably.
But my shotgun, I'm shooting maybe 100 yards tops.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But the reason that I say that is because, like, I feel like I could just tag like the first year. You know what I mean? Like, I think I'll just go out there and shoot the first thing.
You don't pass up what you're going to shoot on the last
fine
day,
as well.
Exactly.
His fine is $30,000.
Yeah. See, like, that's crazy.
Yep.
That's crazy. They won't even put people away for like murder nowadays. You get cash bond.
Here you go.
Yeah.
That's Illinois.
Oh man. Yeah, that's crazy to me. I get like shooting on somebody else's land, and like maybe you can fine for that, but I feel like fining just killing a deer.
Yeah, because it's a certain dollar amount per point on or per inch on the animal. On top of the trespassing
and
I get the trespassing charge. I do.
And probably poaching.
Yeah, because he shot it at night.
Probably did it without legal shooting hours. You know what I mean?
I think he shot it like at midnight or something.
Yeah, but
like
the fact that
could
you guys
be shooting off a public roadway.
Yeah.
You know, you could be adding charges onto that.
Yeah, I know, but the fact that that's even like a thing, I think bothers me. Like, why do you have like?
So you're one to say like I can shoot out of my car?
Yeah. What would stop you from that?
DNR.
Yeah, but
ethics and morals, you know, that comes down to nature versus nurture.
What ethic or moral thing are you breaking?
Safety, Yeah, one is safety. The ethical part of it is that you're doing it fair chase wise. You're not doing a one up thing aspect to it. And then on top of it too, it's like there's a lot of jealousy in the hunting world, and
Sure.
so that plays a big role in how big the fine is and how long they're suspended. But the guys that
Dude,
did all the
you guys got to be getting into like trick shots. There's got to be somebody on like the front end of your car, like 360 no scoping off the top, just banging this.
Well, that's why we do
sniping
like
this.
that's why we
sniping
do like
this-
deer drives, so they like push them to us. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like, so you have
Yeah,
3 trusted shooters sitting there dropping anything that passes.
sure.
You know.
Yeah, but get like have fun with it. You know what I mean?
Oh, we're having a great time.
Yeah, you know what I mean though. Like it's something who's like outside of the hunting world.
Oh, so I could just be like driving down the street. Oh, there's one. Boom.
Yeah, pop it, shine it, and pop it.
Well,
Get it off the road.
the reason being is that
Otherwise, I'm gonna hit that later and have to make an insurance claim on it. I don't know. I'm
Well,
not
Oh,
mad about
that
it.
sounds like a win for you, though. 'Cause
No,
then you
no,
get-
no. It's a whole fucking headache. I gotta go get a new car for a week. I gotta get a car I'm not used to driving. I might get in another car accident. All because you guys didn't shoot a deer because it was unethical. Come on.
it just
mean-
separates us. That's what makes the aspect of it.
And I
You
get
can
the-
blame
I-
us
You know,
every-
I understand the thrill of the hunt. Okay, I get it. Like if you want to make it as hard for
So
you as
every
you can, you
time-
can.
Someone hits a deer, you blame the deer hunters for not shooting that deer the year before.
Well, I'm blaming a lot of things. Because it's not just hunters. The fact that like the government even says that you guys can't hunt more than one a year, you know? You
Oh,
can't
it depends
do
on
that.
what's-
We can hunt more than one a year.
Yeah, it all depends on what county you're. Like when you're
Sure.
hunting down in Vernon County, which is south of us, you can shoot 4 deer.
Or
Which
bow,
is-
bow and gun. I can shoot 5 deer each season.
Well, yeah, especially over across
Yeah.
the border. There, it's like this year it's five
5 per
bucks.
season.
Yeah. But I
It's
guess
5. Yeah, 5 per season.
putting
Yeah,
limits.
$1 per season.
One per season.
Okay.
Yeah, so I can go 4 times a year.
Yeah.
Like I said, it all comes
But the
down to your
fact that
morals
you
and
can
ethics.
only go 4 times a year is nuts. Like,
Well, you gotta consider like you still gotta work between that. You
Yeah,
gotta,
you
if
gotta
you have a
put
wife,
time-
you have
you got-
kids.
you gotta put time in.
guys, but that's personal things. If I wanted to go out and hunt every day of the year, I should be able to. There shouldn't be any entity
you
that
can.
stops.
Just don't get caught.
Yeah, you can.
Sure.
We don't condone
No,
it.
that's what I mean. There shouldn't be an entity
And
stopping.
you can for like small game like squirrels or
Yeah.
Well,
I
squirrels
get
still have
that.
a season too.
Well,
Rabbits have a
but it's
season.
longer than a deer season. You know what I mean? Like
So this is kind of where I put
Well,
this,
squirrels gotta
right?
worry about disease too. Like certain
Like okay,
certain
you,
times of the year you have to worry about diseases that carry. Like
Yeah.
with rabbits, you don't want to kill them without an R on the month or below
Yeah.
a certain temperature
Yep.
because they have a pest or they have a
like a
what's the word? It's like a tick, but it's an insect.
pesticide. Yeah.
It's an insect that gets into it. You can get sick from it.
okay.
Yeah,
Like a
worms and
larva,
stuff like that.
yeah.
There's a lot of things you got to. There's also reasons why we hunt
No,
colder weather too as well.
but do you think like morally, I guess like it doesn't make sense why those things would affect hunting hours?
Well,
and
at one point in
time,
time, there was
days.
hunting 24/7, 365, but we destroyed everything. So it's like because of
We
the
got to do
restriction-
better.
Because
We
of
got
the
to do way better.
well, because if we do that, we're going to be in the pods even quicker.
I mean, no, not really.
Yeah, because it's
Yeah.
like, well, if you can't, if
You
not,
gotta open up the buffalo hunt again. You gotta be shooting things
there's not enough,
off
there's
of
not enough
trains.
animals to do that.
You gotta be.
Right.
Because
It's all
because
depends
of
on
market
population.
hunting.
Right. Because now they're opening up new hunts every year or longer hunts
Mhm.
because they don't fill a certain quota within the first deer hunts. You know, they'll open up the week
Yeah.
of Thanksgiving or not the week of Christmas or the week of New Year's because lately they haven't been getting the deer killed that they have in
Mhm.
recent years.
And a lot of that comes down to the lack of access too, because a lot of these people that own large swaths of lands may not even live here.
Yeah.
And so that's a big thing. It's guys like you with a bunch of money that come in, like not just using, but those who have a lot of money, they don't hunt them. They don't let anybody hunt their property,
No.
and so
Yeah,
those
why would
animals
you?
go everywhere.
Yeah.
So that's
No,
another reason why too.
Yeah, but I'm just So like, I guess morally, I don't get the argument because I think
Because
you
we were at one point in time where you couldn't shoot any deer. Like my dad remembers
but-
not seeing deer at all.
yeah.
I mean,
Well-
and because the laws we have the herd we have today.
Okay.
Yeah. 'cause
So
if we-
that is a different argument then.
yeah, because that's the reason why. Because we at one point in time,
Yeah,
like
we
my
just
dad's old
extinct
enough.
the whole population if we could just shoot any time of the
Yeah,
year.
you run out your food supply. If you
Yeah.
shoot everything, you run out of
But,
food.
so do you think there needed to be laws for that?
Oh,
Or
yeah.
do you think just the amount of information?
Our great
there could've-
grandpas sacrificed their seasons for us to live in the golden age of hunting.
Yeah.
because there's
or they
So-
still had a season but just didn't see shit all
Yeah.
year.
my entire like worldview right now, right? So like you sacrificed safety for bountiful hunts, but those who sacrifice safety for lack of violence deserve neither, right?
Okay, all right, but
Thomas
like,
Jefferson style.
all right.
But no,
That's the foundation of it because we didn't have anything to hunt, so now we do. Like we're in the golden age of whitetail, small game, turkeys. But it's like
it's all based on
Because of-
government laws.
well, no. The hunters actually came together and put all the laws in effect. Like Pittman Robinson Act, was
Government
all,
laws, yeah.
But we had to do it as one big governing body.
Yeah,
so
sure.
not everybody
It's like,
can monitor everything.
The Interstate Commerce Act is the same thing for cars.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I'm just wondering.
Yeah.
Wondering where we're at. Just
We don't want to lose these opportunities to hunt. If we have nothing to hunt, then it's like we're idle hands to create World War II.
sure. Yeah. I mean,
Then I'm gonna start hunting people.
you gotta think like after the Civil War, there were so many like experienced hunters or experienced sharpshooters that just like had nothing to do all day. They were drinking all day because they just went through a war with their
Mhm.
brothers essentially.
But if you own land, who's telling you can't? You know what I mean? Unless it's like
Yeah.
DNR coming in.
The
Well,
only
like
thing
I
now
said
is the
though,
DNR have they do
like
flyovers,
morally-
they do
Right.
drones.
You know,
just
it's
like right.
it's like everything else. Like government overreach ends up killing something that didn't have to happen like that. So like the initial law like might have been good in place. It might have been like, okay, like our grandfathers came together and they were like, let's try to get these herd populations back, and then we can have like regulated hunting seasons.
Mhm.
And then like everything else that the government does goes
That's
way
when-
over the top.
that's
And
when
now
the
they have drones. And
but-
now if you don't tag and bag, you're gonna get
Yep.
a $30,000 fine. It's
Yeah.
like everything else. You get
Mhm.
rid of one thing and you deserve
But
nothing.
that's where we're at today. Is that we're at the point where everything we can start reducing regulations, but the antis are moving into power. So it's like
Yeah,
like, for
they're gonna
example,
amp it up
Yeah.
because they can now because
Yeah.
they have a majority or they have the institutions at this point, right?
Yeah,
and,
they do.
yeah.
because now we have
It's
the
gonna turn into
anti.
a dark podcast.
Yeah, because now we have the
Feels
antis
like, oh,
in
no,
the
don't do
DNR.
that.
We have the antis in politicians, so they're making legislation where they can't do it. Because it
Yeah.
starts with like for example, baiting. Baiting is a popular thing around the world, even here in Wisconsin. But there's certain counties here because the antis got into power and they voted it out. So there's certain counties in Wisconsin you can bait, and certain counties you can't bait in.
Yep.
But then it's like on top of that too, like Brian has an industry because they said to stop the spread of CWD.
Or-
The CWD is just a means of bullshit that they want to push to stop people from hunting.
Or there's
Exactly.
or there's
Yeah.
certain
They'll find a way to stop
or
it.
there's
Yeah.
certain counties in Minnesota that can use a rifle in, and then certain counties in Minnesota that can only use shotguns.
You'll laugh at
And
this
that
too.
doesn't make any sense.
Right.
Because, like legally, morally, anything. You
Right.
can
Because-
even like make any argument in the book for that. It
Right.
doesn't
Do
make,
you know what their argument was?
there's no consciousness behind that.
Because they feel they're
Bullet
at the time
trajectory
they
is
thought that
the
the bullets
only-
could fly out, continue
further.
flying past it. Yeah.
yeah,
Bullet trajectory.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that was
why
their
they-
argument.
Yeah,
The science, TM. Dude, what are people doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's people who don't understand it making laws for people who do understand it. And again, like
But
maybe
people
at
that do understand, they don't want to
the
get into it.
initial detriment is like you do have a lot of people making good laws in good faith right away, and then like every other thing,
just gets
fucked.
shit on. Yeah.
it's just in that's the sad thing about everything. It's like it starts off with like this really good spirit, and they're like, okay, we can put a little bit of government funding into this. We can maybe fund public school education. We can maybe fund public works. We can maybe build bridges. We can maybe do this. We can maybe do that. And then, like every other part and progress of human society, it becomes so faded from the original vision and so deep, like so over centralized versus like what it was supposed to be in the original. And then the power never leaves that central organization ever. And it just degrades.
Mhm.
Public
Well,
transportation in Chicago. There's a reason nobody wants to take it anymore.
right.
Right? People do. I mean, you need to because
Sometimes, yeah.
you have to get to work somehow or whatever.
Yeah.
There's always an infrastructure for it, but the infrastructure is so degraded now that you have to like almost risk your life to just go take the subway in New York City.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't even make sense. But same thing with like the hunting laws. So it might have started out in really, really good faith, where they're like, oh yeah, like we'll call the herds back and then we'll like make it so that everybody can hunt every year. Well, now you have that, and now you have everything that comes with that. Central planning from a government that doesn't understand the law that everybody else has to follow.
Yeah, it's emotional ballots,
man.
voting instead of being voted on based by science.
Yep. Classic.
Yeah, it's the
Classic.
Yeah, it's a pain in the ass.
I
Man.
couldn't have designed it any better myself though. Like I'm always thinking, like, oh, if I was like to set up a perfect society that like would actually limit the amount of freedoms that people have, I would give them the opportunity to do it and then just take more away from them slowly but surely over
That's
the
what
next
we've been doing since
years.
the inception of the Federal Reserve.
Going on now.
Yeah. I'm so like, I'm just like, I'm thinking from, I don't know, like people I don't think like normies or casuals think along the lines of like what somebody would do with the power that you give them.
They're all brainwashed. There's definitely shows. I'm already seeing the indoctrination in my 11-year-old.
Yeah.
So that's the worst part. So it's like the school I went to is indoctrinating her. So it's like, the only way to stop the indoctrination is I got to pull her out. But, you knock a bitch up, make sure you marry her.
That's the only thing we learned today.
Well, because it's like you have no, because if you knock somebody up and you're
Let me
not
know how
married
you like
to it,
that.
you'll lose
It's all
your.
super sweet.
Yeah, dude, it's like cookie
it's a
dough.
candy.
It is candy.
Yeah.
It tastes like an unbaked chocolate chip cookie.
That's wild.
Yep. What is your bucket list?
Oh, did you sip it already?
I just took a sip.
Oh, I didn't even see it. I thought you like sniffed
Phil's
it.
turn now.
Yeah,
What's your bucket list looking like?
Couple things on my.
Oh my god! Oh my god! I was about to do the comment.
You hijacked.
We're good.
You
No,
hijacked.
you talked about hunting for like 10 minutes.
Well, that's my bucket list now because it's everything I want to do.
Oh yeah.
Because now the upside
I'm
is
sorry.
we're
I am
good.
sorry.
So my bucket list is next.
We still
is
got
Chat,
here.
is this real?
We still got here. We're good.
Yeah.
But on my bucket list, it's like I want to have a child here in the next 5 years ish.
Okay.
You know, I want to catch like a muskie, tiger trout, paddlefish.
Tiger trout.
Yeah. Just
Tiger
couple,
muskies on my bucket list too.
just a couple fish on my like species that I want to catch. I want to drop a buck and big enough to throw on my wall.
Mm-hmm.
I have a pretty high standard for that though, because my dad like dropped this monster drop time, and he told me I can't mount anything or have anything on my wall until it beats that. So it's like I have a high standard for what
you could
what I'm gonna shoot.
though.
But like if I see a nice buck, in my shooting range, I'm gonna take a shot and I'll probably hang it up there. Just be like, call it good enough.
Especially if it's your first one.
Yeah, I haven't dropped
first.
one yet. Like I've had one shot at one and I didn't take it because I didn't trust myself at the time. It was like my first year hunting, and it came in at 75 yards.
That's a poke.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's close. That's like a chip shot.
But for a shotgun,
For a
that's
shotgun?
Oh, for
yeah.
a shot.
For a
That's
shotgun,
just, oh,
yeah,
I forgot. Sorry.
for
Yeah,
a
you said like
shotgun,
80
that's a
yards.
poke.
It's kind of, yeah.
That's a poke.
Yeah.
That's a poke in a prayer.
Sorry, I forgot shotgun.
Yeah, so I'm sitting there just watching him the whole time, like knowing it's out of my shooting range unless he gets closer.
You didn't have a grunt call or a bleat call? To
I
try to bring him
tried,
in? Oh,
and he just stood there.
because he didn't see
What an
anything.
idiot.
He didn't see it. He didn't see
What
me.
an idiot.
Didn't
But
see.
a,
Didn't
but
see
a buck
any.
that caliber is not stupid.
Didn't see
No.
any. Didn't see any other deer in the
Oh,
area.
I'm calling the deer an
like
idiot.
I had I had a
Sorry.
spike walk right in front of me,
Yeah.
maybe 5 minutes before he showed up.
Mhm.
But he wasn't in the area when he showed up, so he's not going to come any closer because he doesn't see any activity.
Oh,
Like they don't get that big for no reason. They're smart.
Yeah. Yeah, those are like the alpha.
Yeah, when that one.
Oh yeah, I
Saturday-
was rattling. I was bleating at him. Like he
Couldn't
just
get him to move.
just stood there,
Mhm.
like looking for it. But
I've had two I've had two nice bucks come in front of me, and both times I didn't have a shot. But it's like it is what it is.
it is what it is. Yeah.
Yep.
And then all the other bucks I've seen, yeah, I either didn't have a shot or it's only thing I see is the rear end, or
yeah.
they're
Dude,
100,
you got, because
100 yards away or more, and I just go
What's
from
that?
what this guy has told me, you have to be like pretty broadside.
right
when you
place,
go
right
in.
time.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's just understanding three-dimensional objects
Yep.
and paying attention to the trajectory.
This guy was like dropping science on me once. He's like, yeah, so like when they run for a long time, all their organs get to the front half of their body.
Yep.
You gotta like be able to
Yep. Like if
hit
if they're coming at
broadside,
you,
like
like
right
all their
below the
organs. Yeah, if they're
shoulder,
coming at you, all their organs are
leg.
dropped.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
It's crazy,
Yep.
man.
It's
So-
all a math
And
game.
when you're shotgunning from 80
Geometry.
yards,
Yeah,
you're not
It's
gonna,
all a math.
you're
game.
not gonna
Yeah.
take it from 80 yards out.
Yeah.
Like I get that.
I would now. I would take a
You
shot.
would? Yeah.
Mhm.
I
It
mean,
just comes-
it's worth like a go.
I would now. Like my first year, I'm not gonna.
Yeah, confidence,
'Cause-
man.
'cause-
Trigger confidence.
Well, now it's knowing
Would you be iron sight or would you be using a scope?
iron sight.
Iron sight?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm an
Right.
iron sight guy.
I was the way to say it's like a
On a
good-
shotgun, I'm an iron sight.
Yeah.
But on a
'Cause I-
rifle, I'll use a
Yeah,
scope.
because like I used the Crossfire 2 series Vortex. That's a great slug gun,
Mhm.
but it's like sub 50. It doesn't make any sense. But when you're look like my eyes
Dude.
are not what they used to be, so it's like a
Yeah.
scope for me makes. But I'm shooting a class like that.
Yeah.
I want to eliminate all errors as much as possible because
See, I've
that
thought-
scope is going
Your-
to see things.
Your
that I'll
like
miss.
your iron sight shotgun was fun.
I've
Yeah,
Your
yeah.
vintage one.
Yeah, but
I've thought
no,
about-
that's not a vintage. That's like an aged one. But I've shot a couple.
Oh,
of
it had wood furniture. I just figured it was older.
I've definitely
it's a
thought about
polymer.
throwing.
It's a polymer.
Definitely thought about throwing a scope on my shotgun.
Yeah.
If you do though, you want to get ones where you can have the scope fall off the side.
Yeah.
And so this
Like
way
a-
that it
yeah.
So I
So
could
this
go
way-
to iron sight if it's
Flip it.
closer.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
because if you're sub 50, man, you just point the barrel where
Point
you want to
shoot.
go. Yeah,
Point shoot.
yeah. I've shot
Yeah.
enough deer where it's just point shoot. You just got to make sure that you're shooting where you want it to go.
Yep.
Like I've taken shots at deer running. It's like that's just dumb. I didn't shoot a single one.
Yeah.
I've
Well,
shot a
'cause
deer
of the-
running and I've hit quite a few actually.
Yeah,
Yeah. I feel like
you
the
led
delay.
pretty well then.
Yeah, I feel like the delay. You have to like
I've led
lead.
one pretty well,
You have
and
to know
then I've shot
distance
a
and-
couple in the ass that just like slow it down and they fall.
Oh,
Yeah.
you can go from there. Yeah.
Yeah.
You did enough kinetic
Did enough
damage.
damage
so
to
it's like,
where
okay,
they're
now I
gonna
can put the kill
bed
shot out.
down at
Yeah.
least.
Yeah, bleed out or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still think my favorite kill is still one of the biggest I was ever shot. Heart shot her at 30 yards. She just
My
dropped
big,
like a
my
bag.
big,
30 yards.
biggest-
Yeah, that's
my
close.
my biggest deer is a 190-pound doe dressed, and
Jesus, that's a big bitch. She's thick.
Wait,
She-
a doe?
yeah, and I double lung shot her, and she ran 250 yards after I shot her.
That's
So
the
you had to
crazy
like
part.
track.
I had
that
to
thing.
track her 250 yards,
And then carry her back to the
drag
truck?
it back. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh God!
I shot a deer a couple
Oh,
years ago.
shoot.
Is it 2 years or 3 years
Oh,
ago?
I think I'm pretty sure I got a
tracked her
picture
for
of it
400
here.
yards. Still didn't find her.
Yeah,
But let me see.
'cause
I'll pull it
yeah,
up.
last year you called me.
Yeah, no, it's 2 years ago. Yeah, no, 2 years ago. 2 years
2 years
probably.
ago.
Yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
2 years ago, Jeff calls me at like I don't know what time it
It
was.
was, right before last night. It's about 6:30.
Yeah, 6 or 7 at night, and he's like, "Dude, I shot a deer, but I have no idea where this thing went. Like it is 500 yards away at this point. Like I don't even know." But you tracked it pretty far.
I did.
I don't think you
Even
ever
Alicia-
found because
no,
you
we-
came back day 2 to try to
Yeah.
find it. You
Yeah,
couldn't
Alicia and I
find
went
it.
back out there again. Started where we last found it.
That's so sad.
She'd be thick.
Oh yeah, she
Um,
was big.
Yeah.
We can maybe put these up too because we're sharing a lot of photos.
Yeah,
today.
I could send it and we could put it as a short.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's nice.
She was big.
Oh man.
I was mad I had to walk that far though. Like there was blood on both sides, so I knew I hit her well.
Yeah.
Like she was spraying on both sides, so I was like, oh, I hit her. Like
The upside is
just blood
I may have
everywhere.
killed her.
Like, oh, I know it's a death shot. I just where is she? Because
How do you go so far away?
like literally, I had a path I could walk that was no blood, but there's blood on both sides of me. Like I'm going, I hit her. Like
yeah.
where'd she go?
You clearly killed her.
Like-
How is she still up at this
Like,
point?
right.
Like,
Adrenaline.
oh, 200 pounds.
Adrenaline. Yeah, and then
200 pounds.
I
of
get up to her and I
adrenaline,
go, fuck.
Yeah.
Like,
It looked further away. Further away, it didn't look like that
it
was
didn't look that
heavy.
big. Yeah. no. And then I get there, and
Like
get her,
water
get
refraction.
get her all
you know?
dressed,
Like,
and
don't
I
know
go,
what she's doing.
like, get her on the sled, and go, all right, this is a walk.
Walk back to the truck.
like-
An extra 400
and then like
yards.
everybody's like piled up at my tree stand, like waiting for me to get back because like they're still hunting. So like
Mhm.
in case I kick anything down,
Mhm.
all right. And so like I come walking back with the shovel or the sled. And they go, oh, you got one? I go, yeah, you didn't hear me shoot? They go, yeah, I heard one shot, but I didn't know anything like happened. I go, yeah, I wasn't gonna walk down to you and be like, yeah, hit one.
I gotta go
Like,
follow.
yeah, I gotta follow it. I'm just gonna go follow it and try and bring it back. And then they're just like, "Oh, you didn't call us for help?" I go, "No,
It's still daylight, man. I want you to go
I'm not
hunt.
gonna ruin your hunt. Like helping me drag my deer out, you
And you
know."
never know. You walking through the woods could spook something up. To
Well,
send you
yeah,
the
like
direction.
and like me dragging the sled, like I'd take 5 steps and stop. You know, like I'm
Mhm.
driving at that point. Like I'll take 3 steps, stop.
Mhm.
You know, smoke a cigarette real quick, get my breath. You know, take 10 steps, stop. You know, because deer hear those like by the
Bipedal
The
movement.
bipedal
bipedal cadence,
movements.
yeah.
So like, and then you stop. They think you see them, so they're gonna move
Mhm.
or like think you're onto them, so they're gonna at least move a little bit.
Yeah,
And then if you get another shot, you're just driving them
yeah.
further in, or you hit another one. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm. Yeah.
but yeah, those are a couple things on my bucket.
Oh, yeah, this is all bucket list.
Yeah,
We talk about hunting so
yeah.
much.
So
we
you
like
got anything
diverted.
else on your list right
Um,
now?
Nothing that's pop. Like maybe a couple like travel sites that I want to go to,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
like,
Lamborghini Murcielago, are you thinking?
like if I was to buy a car,
What yeah, what
like
is your dream car,
dream
Phil?
car, would probably be a Rolls Royce.
Okay.
I want a
Dude,
Rolls,
have you seen the new Rolls
or a
Royce?
Phantom. I want a Rolls or a
Okay,
Phantom.
a Phantom is fucking
I
baller.
like my square body cars.
Yeah. Have you seen the new Rolls Royce? They have wheels that are half covered.
Yeah, yeah.
And they have like a storage compartment
They look
below
smooth.
Dude,
They look
they look like
smooth.
a 50s car.
Yeah.
And I like
They
call
always
it old
have.
Black Betty.
They always have. They
Dude,
followed that square body 50s car
but
style.
they kind of
In
went
luxury.
they kind of went modern for a little while there. And I think
And I
bringing it
loved all of it.
well because
All of it.
the trick with the 50s cars in particular is that they are rounded, but they have like the square panels on the round.
I loved it.
And
it's like kind of like the Jaguar. They kind of like form the Jaguar. You know what I mean?
yeah, I've
Like,
never wanted the Jaguar, but like
that's my dad's dream car.
they are like cheaper than say like a Murcielago or Colorado or whatever Hurricane.
Like, yeah.
Obviously, but
if I had to buy one car like that, I just had my mindset on, it'd either be the Rolls Royce or a Viper.
or Maserati.
A Viper.
A
I want
Viper.
to Dodge
I like the
Viper.
Aston Martin.
What
myself.
year though?
I don't care what year.
Okay.
Like, I'll take a brand new one right now.
Yeah, no, Vipers just don't look the same as they used to.
They're
so
still
it's
nice.
Like, no,
You
they
know what I
are.
mean?
No,
Like,
of
Give me like a
course they're not-
98 or
Of course they're
99
nice.
So, like,
SRT V10.
Of course they're nice. Come on.
I'm not gonna be picky on.
Okay. All right.
If I'm going car, it would be an Aston Martin. I just like the sleek.
They're
design.
slick.
Aston Martin.
They're slick.
Yeah, they're nice. They
Yeah,
announce
slick.
themselves before you
Like a
embark.
white.
Obviously,
Aston Martin.
you're taking the Lambo.
Yeah, I know the Hurricane or like the Murcielago. Yeah.
Now, if I was going for,
Colorado.
like,
I'll
a
take
truck,
something. But
I'd go like an F-250 single cab diesel.
dude, the
Truck
problem
would
that-
be hard.
the problem that I keep running
I'd
into
go with
is
an older one instead of a new one because now GM is going through. There's a class action lawsuit because apparently their transmissions are
Yep.
shit between
Yep.
2015 2019. So
Yep.
sounds about right. Sounds like Ford too. Ford.
yeah,
same
Ford
thing.
has the same thing, or they have their own
Or
lawsuit going on.
Chrysler, yeah.
Yeah.
Chrysler. They're such
Chrysler's
big-
garbage.
Dodge is trash too. They're
It
going
sucks.
through another big
Like, you can
recall.
barely
I
buy
drive
American
Dodge. I drive
cars. You know, but there's no detriment to that. Like buying an American car, like you just have to buy one below the
Or
year
Toyota.
2015.
Yeah, get yourself an old Toyota Tacoma from back in the 80s that they could just.
Dude,
I want
They
a
never die.
I want a Lumina from like the 90s.
Oh yeah.
oh, okay.
Yeah, just they last forever.
Mhm.
Or
Like
an
a Trans
or like an
Am
Astro van?
2000, like a
or
2000
an
Trans
Astro
Am.
van. Give me one of those. Yeah, I'm rolling around those.
All-wheel drive.
Right.
Yeah, man. With a big
Those
old
things just
V8,
whip. Like,
13 miles to the gallon. Hey, let's go.
Whatever. Let's go.
yeah, that's funny. I like that. Yeah, bucket list cars, man. Like, I'm gonna have a whole garage. I'm gonna have a 12-car garage with only 6 cars. That's what
6
I'm gonna
Lambos.
do. Yeah.
One for every day of the week.
Yeah. Oh my
6
god.
different colors.
And then take a day of rest. Yeah, that would work out.
And
pretty
just have
well.
a normal car and a
Yeah, no,
seventh day.
I'll have
just like your Ford Focus
I'll have
out
like
there.
I'll have like a 2004 like 2004 Trans Am
or just like a
something that.
Subaru or something.
Yeah.
Just normal. Like,
Just like the most casual, yeah, Ford Focus 2012. The one that I already have. Yeah, we'll just rock the same car I've always
Well,
had.
this weekend over there at
An
the
A
West
to B
Salem,
car.
they had their car show there for the Mississippi Mayhem.
I saw Alicia's snap story.
Yeah,
on
we
that,
at least
yeah.
went through like there were some bomb.
What was the
cars.
best car there?
Oh shit! They had this beautiful Chevy Chevelle with
Mm.
this purple with this
Ooh.
fire flame.
Oh, with the
Oh.
fire flame, baby,
yeah.
with the
It was-
purple.
What color was the flame? Was it the
It
blue?
was
or-
iridescence. It was like it was a purple, blue, red.
Iridescent. That's
Yeah, it was
fancy.
because it's like you hit
I,
the
I
right
saw
angle.
I saw one
changes-
driving down here in Lacrosse the other day that was purple with blue flames, and it looked.
Mhm.
Yeah. It like I don't know if I could buy a car that has that type of value.
But if I had to
Like it's valuable list.
If I was gonna go
Zero.
old plastic, it'd be like a 68 or 69 Corvette. But
Okay.
those buying one of those, those are 100K cars.
if
Oh,
I wanted
yeah.
to go
Yep.
classic, I'm gonna buy a Cutlass. I want a
Okay.
Cutlass.
Cutlass is there.
I want-
Something different.
Yeah, I want one of those gangster cars. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
They had a
I
Chevy
like
Corsa
that.
there, like
Yeah.
a 63 or 62 Corsa. It's like it was one of those odd ones out there, but it was clean.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or yeah.
Dude, these new like Rolls Royces with like the 50s attire, I love those.
they're-
So like I might like not that I'm gonna buy a Rolls Royce, but
Why not?
Just lease one.
I
Just
wouldn't
lease it.
I wouldn't want to. Yeah, it would be a content thing for me. I would probably buy it just for the content and then be
I
done
just
with
want to
it.
ride.
If you
Yeah.
buy it, well then
Just
you have
wanna-
to keep
just
it, you have to
wanna
keep it
ride.
below 100 miles. But if you lease it, that's somebody else's problem if you return it.
Yeah,
Just
No,
want
I-
to
Yeah.
ride. Be like
Yeah.
I'm riding in the rolls.
High class cars.
There's
high class
There's no
women, you only
reason for
rent
me
them.
to buy a Rolls Royce, but I do want cars to go back to where you can pivot the front seats to the back seats, and you can have
Yes,
like
the
your
swing
entire-
seat?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we need
Got
those
it.
back, and I know they're
Don't
not
make
like
me come back there.
safe or whatever, but yeah, I know they're not like safe or whatever, but like having I don't know, some type of limo car where you can like turn the seats
Back
back,
would fuck around and find out it was
hang
real.
out with people, you know, like
Mhm.
you could just have like your group of
Social.
friends chilling.
You
and
know,
obviously you can drink in limos and stuff. It's
the
all, like,
cruise
you
car.
know, yeah.
That'd been so helpful in the cruise
And
car. Like
the CIA
There you
used to have
go.
a bunch of them in like the 70s and
Like-
like 50s through 70s, pretty much. That used to be a pretty normal car, and then they added seatbelts, and then nothing could be anything anymore. You had bucket seats everywhere. But no, I would love to go back to those types of cars.
I think I'd
Speaking about government meddling, seatbelts was the interest to all the meddling that we have today.
Yeah, seatbelts led to COVID mask mandates.
But if
Right?
I had the money for
No,
Respect the science.
a long way about is like wearing a safety seatbelt.
But if I had the money for any of these cars, I'm throwing butterfly doors on all of them or suicide doors on all of them.
Suicide doors, yeah. The Murcielago is gonna need it.
I'd throw butterfly doors on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be
Oh, the
pretty dope.
scissor doors for
Yeah,
sure.
just-
That's the first thing you're
yeah.
probably adding, to be honest. Like you don't even buy a new.
But like
tire
a
set.
Rolls, I'm gonna take the suicide doors every time.
Yeah, I feel like the new Rolls, like I kind
Suicide
of.
doors.
Well, I think they have them built in. Honestly, I think I think they're not suicide. I think they're just up. So it's like because suicide or
so it's like a
scissors-
butterfly.
So suicide door, yeah, it's like a butterfly. Because suicide doors are like up and out,
Yeah.
or it's like up and
Well,
like
suicide doors
diagonal.
like just pop out, don't they?
They open like this. Not suicide doors because you get T-bone, you're fucked.
Yeah.
Okay,
Like
so the
door
butterfly.
handles here, door
Yeah.
handles here.
Oh, okay, there, yeah, that
Yeah,
makes
they
sense.
open
So,
up.
yeah,
Yeah,
they
yeah,
go out,
Butterfly doors
yeah.
are one that go up. Suicide
Yeah,
doors, they both
suicide.
go out.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So suicide doors.
Or like the square doors.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So those would be sick on a Rolls Royce.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
like absolutely.
Unless I get T-bone. But yeah.
but you know, like T-bone and the Rolls, like you'll be fine.
If I had a
things are-
Rolls, yeah, then I
Those things are
obviously can afford it.
Those things
you know
are
what I mean?
literally like they were literally designed after the World War II tanks, so you're fine. Like, but anyways, guys, we probably gotta end it.
Yeah.
I don't know what time it is. No idea.
708.
Well, wait, what time did we start?
I don't know.
I don't know.
What does it say on the
We did like
I
a test
cannot-
run.
should say how long we've been recording.
Hour 24.
There we go. Yeah, our end time is at an hour 30,
Yeah,
90 minutes. We got 6 more minutes of bullshit.
I thought we were a lot later because I was like, oh yeah, we already pre-recorded.
We went on a hunting spiel for like an hour there.
Yeah.
It was a long time. It was a
good
long
rant.
time. Our viewers at home are gonna be like, "Oh my god, stop talking about hunting."
Unless they're into it.
Yeah, you got a
We have
lot
a
of
whole- we have
the
a whole-
hunters are based individuals. They like this kind
Well,
of content.
And we're right in the Midwest. How many hunters in the Midwest? 1,000, 30, tens of thousands. You know what
Yeah.
I
I
mean?
think
Like
last
we have
year-
our own army.
I think last year alone there was 100 or 530 some thousand gun tags sold.
Yeah, like we
Yeah.
have our own army if we need it.
Yeah. No, do you guys think? Okay, so if the U.S. was divided into the Midwest, Northeast, the South, which would be like the Mason-Dixie line down to Florida and over to Texas and up to like maybe Missouri would be the last South state because they used to own slaves.
Yeah.
So we'll put them in there.
I
Then you have
slaves
the-
been into Illinois and along with Kansas, I believe. Don't quote me on it.
Then you have like the mountain Northwest, and then you have like the Southwest,
Mm-hmm.
right? So like say you had like 5 FEMA districts,
Mhm.
right? Which would be like, the Northwest mountains would be like North Dakota, South Dakota, all the way over to like Oregon.
Yeah.
Right. Who do you think would win
Like if we had to battle it out.
that fight? Yeah, if we had like
Midwest,
a battle royale.
I think the Midwest for sure. I think we have a lot of gun
Well,
power.
the most likely wouldn't have happened. Like it's a very valid. We like gun.
Yeah.
We like duck hunting. We like goose hunting. We
I mean-
have a lot of land. We can
we have
hide.
a lot
Yeah.
of big game.
Yeah.
Like
We also have natural springs too as well, so that's a win.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, but
And-
what would end up happening though is like it came through. It's like everything that wasn't blue would merge together and just go after the problems. That'd be DC, New York, pretty much the entire Northwest.
Yeah, I mean, I think
Then
the Midwest
Northwest.
takes the Northeast
but,
pretty quick.
but I think we
But that said, you still have the South.
but I
The
think
South is a wrecking.
I think we go straight south and then everything coming from east and west has to go through us.
Yeah. Like, I mean, because the Northwest or the Midwest, right? Like, you're talking Ohio, you're talking Michigan,
Mhm.
you're talking Wisconsin, you're talking Minnesota, you're talking Illinois, which has all the gangs, you're
Yep.
talking about Iowa, you're talking
And
Indiana.
80% of these people know how to shoot a gun.
Yeah, as long as
Yeah. I mean, I think our gun ownership is literally like 90% in most of these counties, most
Right.
of these places. So, like, you're talking almost everybody. But the South, I mean, if you're talking like the Mason-Dixie line down to
Like
Florida,
like Texas,
Texas.
I give them a lot
Texas
of gun
is a
ownership.
big one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
I think like a game plan for
But
the
like
Mi-
if you're including like Arizona in that, you know what I mean? I don't
Arizona
feel
would
like
be
Arizona's not a real
probably
big gun
south-
state. You know what I
No,
mean?
it's,
They're
it's,
probably-
so they have.
Is
They,
it?
there's people that open
Okay.
carry
but
down there
they would
for days.
probably be under Southwest.
Okay.
So like it would be a different district.
Okay.
Do you think California's district, right? Because you're talking about like the new California Republic at that
Or
point.
like New York where gun laws are so strict.
Yeah,
like-
but they're strict in Chicago too. But nobody
Are they-
cares about
Are they
that.
though?
Well, like the same thing with New
Are
York
they
gun
though?
violence.
Are they?
Are they?
Like,
Like how many people have switches and they film it? Like
right. Oh yeah. Every day.
every day. And I think if the Midwest takes Missouri, I think that's where we like make a stand.
Or Ohio.
Well, we already have Ohio.
Oh yeah.
Pennsylvania falls into the Northeast.
We
If I
take-
had like a map up, I could probably like
We take
district
Missouri
this
and
out.
maybe Tennessee.
Yeah, Tennessee is south. That'd be tough. Tennessee would be a tough grab, I think.
I don't think
Because that's
so.
the mountainous terrain.
Like what city organizes for us? Do you think Chicago?
It'd be central, yeah. I would think.
Des Moines would be a problem.
Moines,
Central-
yeah.
Des
central location.
Moines? You think Des
Yeah.
Moines would be the one? Des Moines would be an interesting one.
Because listen, the nice thing is you bring the
'Cause-
fight to Iowa, you have a lot of flat land, so you can be able to see for
We'll
a while.
see them coming.
And so
Yeah.
it's like the idea is
You
want
can't
people
even
to come
shoot
to
in
you.
Iowa because of how flat it is, right?
Or
Like-
Nebraska.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, Nebraska would be. Oh, would Nebraska be like
That'd be a
the
Midwest
mountain
state.
region? Maybe
I feel like that'd be like
the Great Plains.
Yeah, like
Maybe we
yeah.
add Nebraska in there.
I think that's a Midwest
Kansas
state.
That'd be
maybe
Kansas,
goes-
Oklahoma.
Yeah.
I think Oklahoma goes south though.
I would call them.
Yeah, yeah, I see that. Because
Kansas
that
is
weird
iffy.
land.
Kansas,
Kansas
might
is, like,
be like our
nowhere, yeah.
Kansas is in like the direct middle of the country. That might end up being like the bloody state, where the people are like, "Oh, we're taking
That's
this
the
for
win
the
me state.
yeah." So that one would be tough.
Because the idea is like if you bring it, because like you use the
Dude,
nice
we
thing
have
is-
like the largest like aquifers up here too.
yeah, Nebraska's got the world's third
Mhm.
world's largest.
Yeah, so I think we end up.
But Bill Gates keeps on buying up the land.
Well, and,
I
and we,
think we
and,
end up
and we
winning.
have like all the food with our corn or like
Mhm.
agriculture land. So
we have
it's
the,
like
we
Yeah.
have processing plants for diesel in for
We have the we have
biofuels.
the upper half of the Mississippi River.
We're thriving.
Yeah. I think Texas is our greatest like threat.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Texas for sure.
I think California like loses right away.
Oh yeah. I think Arizona would go over there and fuck every.
I guarantee Nevada takes California.
They probably could.
Like, Utah, like
Vegas alone, like
Oregon would go down and take California
because you end up with a couple different.
Or we lose it to
for
Mexico.
Sure. Oh, Mexico could like take their opportunity,
Yeah.
But
but there's a lot of family there.
Then again, though, Texas people are just gonna take.
They could take Texas too. Yeah.
Mexico back.
Yeah.
Texas could take Mexico back. Like probably no problem.
With all the
If they were allowed to,
there.
and the federal government didn't stop them, yeah, they would. Like, are you kidding me? They're just like, oh, instead of immigrating, how about you guys just become Texas?
You know, another thing, like the part above like Michigan and Wisconsin.
The Yoopers.
Yeah.
I think
the Lions and the Packers should play for that every year.
Yeah. It'd be like a trophy.
Right.
Like every
like they do in college for like the
Battle of the Axe.
or the Paul Bunyan Axe or
Yeah, every year
like,
they battle
every
it out.
year
Trying to take
title.
the Yoopers.
Like, you take back the UP. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, the fact that we even have the Yoopers alone in the Midwest, I think we win almost every fight. Like, you got to be psycho to live up there.
Well, and we got all the like water sources, so we can send
the
out
aquifers,
shit.
man.
You know what I mean? Like,
oh
from each way.
we have 2 different river systems.
Yeah,
so we pretty much win.
Yeah, because we could literally just.
I think people underestimate the Midwest, man.
Yeah.
I think people underestimate the Midwest.
Just blow up every bridge, stuff like that.
Every coast.
Yeah, like
you're fucked.
They just don't.
We're coming to you at that point.
We're landlocked.
Yeah,
we're not even gonna get invaded. Like, are you kidding me? No naval force can take us
unless you come from like the extreme north, or like through Canada, or
but the chances that you even take
the UP,
the chances that you even take Lake.
We'll see you coming.
Lake Michigan.
We'll see you coming.
Lake Michigan.
Yeah.
You're gonna take Lake Michigan on the Yoopers or us? Like, are you kidding me? We have Milwaukee. Like,
a bat signal.
Yeah, like that's crazy. Yeah, there's no way. There's no way. So yeah, I think we win every single fight. The Midwest is just not a force to reckon with. I think people just forget that.
I think it'd be between the Midwest and the South.
Yeah, no, I think that's true. I think the West kind of falls pretty quick. The Northeast falls pretty quick. But yeah, it ends up being the Midwest versus the South. That would be like the new American Civil War. And you know, if you take Texas and Florida out, the Midwest wins every single time.
Yeah.
But I think if you keep Texas in there, it keeps the South.
Texas alone gives us a run.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. Texas gives every state a run. If Texas formed their own republic, they win probably 99% of fights.
Like, was it Austin alone has like 30 million people live in that town?
Yeah.
No, Austin's the Democrats in Texas. Like, they're not even like the Republicans in Texas, right? Red state. Oh, man.
All right, I'm good.
Right. No more questions.
This was fun.
This was a good podcast.
This was a good one.
Oh yeah.
As long as it turns out.
No echoes.
Dude, we pre-recorded and then
now if this one turns out like the last one.
Yeah.
What do we do?
I mean, we
don't get clips.
We upload it.
Because you said we can't do the demon voice.
We upload it. No
Just as
context.
is?
Yeah, no context, no cuts, no edits, no nothing.
I think we should like do different voices through each microphone for like Halloween.
No.
For Halloween.
For one episode.
For Halloween.
Disguise our voices.
Yeah, just for 1 week for Halloween.
Okay. I will consider it. But the odds of that happening are below.
Like one of us
10%.
can sound like Batman.
Yeah. Yeah, or we
eat your sword.
How about this? How about we compromise? How about we all dress up for Halloween?
Well, we can do that.
Let's do it.
I'll probably be Lord Peppa, but yeah.
Yeah, man.
I gotta contaminate.
The British accents from Wales.
Well, yeah, why not? Why not?
It's not what happens.
Yeah. Why not advertise?
Yeah, I
Peppa
know.
on here?
I've never really advertised this on Peppa either.
I mean, if I started my podcast like I wanted to stream or whatever,
Yeah.
I'd promote it on here.
Oh yeah,
Or like Bucks of America.
We create our own podcast network essentially.
I would not fault you at all.
Because then it'd be
the
like,
great thing about
if you want to see more of me, come check out me and my friends over at B tier. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Well, and that's gonna work this way too. So like, B tier podcast. Well, guys, go check him out at Bucks of America, stream to stream.
Oh,
whatever,
definitely.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, I've already been talking about B tier. Well,
Go check him out at Lord Peppa. You know.
Oh man, Lord Peppa Gaming. Don't advertise that one. Yeah, no, and it's
Ghost
every
After Dark.
Dude, I miss that show. That show was.
It was a fun show. It was a fun show.
It was a fun show.
Yeah, parking too was great.
Yeah. Parking, man. Yeah,
We had parking when we first started doing this.
Kids
But
want to get a higher education, get brainwashed.
Yeah, gotta get your gotta get your brainwashing in while you can. Anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning in. B tier pod. Go follow us over at Twitter or X now, formerly Twitter. B tier pod. And then I have not done it yet, but the TikTok will probably start coming up. I'm gonna, man, guys, I might hire a virtual assistant to like help me upload with everything.
I mean, I might be able to start TikTok.
Yeah. Our TikTok?
Why not? I don't have one.
If you want to. A lot to do.
All I need to do is upload shorts, right?
Yeah. And we have a backlog now. So
well,
it's
yeah,
like,
I can just go take all the ones off
you
YouTube
could
and just
schedule
start
like
throwing them.
Yeah. I was gonna say schedule out for like 10 days. But the thing with TikTok is you only can do 10 days out. So it's like you'd have to do it like once a week for like basically
I'll
an
set
hour
a reminder on my phone doing an hour a week. You know what I mean? Like,
I just uploaded one and take a shit.
Yeah, well that works too.
Or it's just like the morning when I get there at work where I have an hour and a half before I have to
really get
technically do anything. You know what I mean? Unless the kids are up.
That might work. I can give you TikTok control because honestly, I fall under it at the same time. It's always like another process for me where it's just like
I'll see what I can do. I'll see if I can set that up.
Okay. Because I have a TikTok.
Because I don't have a TikTok.
Yeah, we have a TikTok account for B tier, but you just need to like sign in on your phone.
Yeah. Which
I can send you like the backlog, and I can kind of get you like.
Which I could do.
I mean, because we have content.
Oh yeah, I can go to YouTube and get all these shorts that we've already thrown out and throw them up there.
Yeah, you just download them like YouTube download it or whatever.
Yeah,
I can do that. I can help you
put
with
on
that
a Google Drive and you're good to go.
Yeah, I can help you with all that.
I got a tablet at home. I can start playing around.
I was about to hire somebody like low key for Peppa. I was on the phone today with somebody I was gonna have on the show here.
Like if you do end up hiring for Peppa, like maybe like see if they can do this one as well. But
that's kind of what I was thinking.
But yeah, if we're already paying one person to do one content, you might as well
have them do everything.
Right.
But if because I don't.
But I know that is
trust people.
I know that is two different like structures too.
It is. So like hiring somebody for Peppa is gonna be. I'd probably have to hire 2 people for all of this anyway. That said,
but where if I could take care of TikTok?
Yeah, if you took care of TikTok here, and then I still need somebody for YouTube scheduling, so I don't know. if I hire somebody for YouTube, I keep them on the TikTok as well.
Yeah.
But if I don't do that, like you said, this is a different structure for gaming content and stuff for Peppa. So I would probably have to hire 2 different people, but I just don't trust enough people with the access to the accounts. That's like something that just because it is obviously an email and a password, and if but you can give people access, but then like if you give them too much, then they could.
You give them an inch, they're gonna take a mile.
Yeah, they can do more than what I pay them to do.
Yeah,
and I don't want to do that.
Oh,
so
I get that.
Be somebody I have to know. So I'll trust you with the B tier pod on TikTok. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. Peace out. Bye.